It's time for Eastmont Volleyball on the NCW Life Channel. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth, Collins Fashions, Town Nissan, and Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Now let's go to the Eastmont Wildcat Gymnasium for all the action with NCW Life Channel's Eric Grandstrom.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Eastmont High School as we get ready for the final volleyball game of the regular season. It is the Eastmont Wildcats on senior night hosting the Eisenhower Cadets. Not only a big night for Eastmont to say farewell to 6 seniors, but also to secure their 3rd seed into the district tournament. They'll get a play-in game no matter what next Wednesday, but the chore right now is to break a deadlock they have coming into tonight with Eisenhower. Both teams have the exact same record in the Big Nine, so Eastmont wants to get a win tonight. They want to look good tonight, and they want to send these seniors off one more time playing here at Eastmont High School in the regular season with a victory. We're going to talk to Dana Pruitt as the pregame show continues. We'll also get you the lineups and get you ready for what should be a really good volleyball match here tonight. It's Eastmont playing host to Eisenhower, and it's coming up next on the NCW Life Channel. Don't go away. The pregame show continues here on the NCW Life Channel. Time for our interview with Coach Dana Pruitt, and it's brought to you by TC Slingers. No need for wheelbarrows, rakes, or shovels. They'll place the material for you. An emotional week all the way around, Dana. Tuesday, first of all, very classy what you guys did with the roses for Wenatchee Senior Night.
Thank you. You know, Wenatchee has a lot of kids that are very close to our hearts. A lot of these girls play together all year long, so they're rivals, but they're also our friends in the end, and we got to wish them well. Seniors deserve respect, so that's a little bit what we hope to give them, and you know, always a good battle is always fun. Yeah.
Let's talk about this senior night for you tonight and for your girls.
Yes, tonight senior night, you know, I've got 6 seniors. They've made a huge impact, not only in this season, but in past seasons. They really are setting the standards for what we're trying to develop here at Eastmont. They're wonderful kids. They're great academic leaders. They're great kids outside of the school, not just on the court, but they work hard, and they've always worked really hard. I will miss them dearly, but I know they'll be successful in life. So,
Leanne and I were talking the other night about the emotions of the night and how you focus that energy back into volleyball.
Yes, it's just trying to be disciplined again, and we've talked about that a lot this season, is staying mentally into the game, and so there's just going to be times where we might just have to check ourselves and make sure that we just refocus and know that they know what they need to do. So in the end, it's up to them, and they'll do it. So, yeah.
So no matter what, you've got a play-in game here, home next Wednesday, so that's good news, although I'm sure you'd like to be a higher seed than where you are right now.
You know, it's okay. We know that an extra game actually, to me, kind of gives us an opportunity to develop some of our skills to get us ready for those finals to play off for districts at state. So, it keeps you, because it's hard to run 4 or a whole week of practices without a game, so I'm okay with it. The girls are okay with it. They know that, you know, last year we were almost in the same boat, came down to a draw, so luck be it. So, yeah.
Well, have fun tonight and keep everybody healthy.
Thank you so much for supporting us too. Thanks.
Dana Pruitt joining us here on the pregame show. We will take a break and come back with the lineups and get you ready for the first serve coming up on the NCW Life Channel. Welcome back once again here to Eastmont High School as the Eisenhower Cadets are out there on the floor right now practicing their kill shots, their sets, and their kills as we get ready for this Big Nine matchup between the Cadets and the Wildcats. Eisenhower coming in with a record of 6-5 in Big Nine play, 7-6 overall. Eastmont 6-5 and 6-7. Our broadcast is brought to you in part by Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Take a walk on the wild side. Town Nissan, your local East Wenatchee Nissan dealer, where honesty and transparency come first. Also by Collins Fashions in downtown Wenatchee, real clothes for real women. And Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge, your Town Chrysler family store, where people get nice surprises. Let's take a look at the lineups here tonight for, first of all, the visitors, Eisenhower, with the navy blue uniforms trimmed in red and white. Getting the start tonight for their head coach, Brad Ackerman. He's assisted by Michelle Helseth, Mikkel Sidney, Veronica Sanchez, and Keena Blackburn. Ebony Johnson wears number 4. She's a 5'4" freshman getting the start for the Cadets tonight. Wearing number 5 is Ashton Houghton, a 6-foot junior. Brooklyn Castle is a 5'8" senior. She wears number 6. Andrea Garza is a 5'7" junior. She wears number 9. Number 12 is Tamaya Allen Greggs, a 6-foot sophomore. She wears number 12. And number 13 is Mackenzie Schwabach, a 5-foot senior. The libero for the Ike Cadets is Madison Peroni. She wears number 1. She's a 5'1" sophomore. Young lineup here for Coach Brad Ackerman, and not a lot of bodies for this varsity club. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's it on the roster here for tonight. I asked if any had been moved up from junior varsity. They said, nope, we're playing with what we got. So that is the lineup. And by the way, our starting lineups brought to you by Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for residential and commercial heating and air conditioning. It's Arctic Refrigeration and Heating. Let's take a look at the lineups here for the Eastmont Wildcats as announced by their head coach, Dana Pruitt. She's assisted by Erin Cornell, Corinne Nelson, and Leon Grant. Rebecca Hall is a 5'7" senior. She wears number 1. Britt Vaughn getting the start tonight, a 5'8" sophomore. She wears number 3. Number 4 is Maddie Sackman, a 5'9" senior. Emma Damon wears number 5. She's a 5'6" junior. Carmen Lang is a 5'8" senior. She wears number 6. And number 10 is Alondra Mendez, a 5'8" senior. Also getting the start to the libero for the Eastmont Lady Cats, wearing number 14, Colby Volschel, is a 5'5" junior. Of course, it is senior night, so we will highlight the seniors here. Rebecca Hall, Alex Bassett, Maddie Sackman, Carmen Lang, Shane Stanaway, and Alondra Mendez. 6 seniors on the lineup and in the lineup here for Coach Dana Pruitt and the Eastmont Lady Cats. Our starting lineups brought to you by Arctic Refrigeration and Heating. For residential and commercial heating and air conditioning, it is Arctic Refrigeration and Heating. Taking a look at the standings as we come into the final night of the regular season here for the Big Nine. West Valley has locked up the number 1 seed. They are the district champions. They are 11-0 coming into tonight, 12-1 on the season. Wenatchee, meanwhile, finished up their season with a 3-0 win over Eastmont earlier this week. So the Panthers finished the season 10-2. They are 11-3 overall. As we mentioned, Eastmont and Ike coming in tied for 3rd at 6-5. Moses Lake in 5th place at 3-8, and Davis at 2-9, currently in 6th. And they, if they finish ahead of Sunnyside, would have the number 6 seed. So as we look at the postseason and that play-in opportunity for the volleyball clubs here in the Big Nine, the Columbia Basin Big Nine, the play-in games, the number 1 and number 2 seeds, so Wenatchee and West Valley would have a bye. The number 5 seeded team would play at the number 4 seed. So if all stays the way it is right now, that would be Moses Lake at Eisenhower. And the number 6 seed would come and play the number 3 seed. And so if that stays the same, that would be Eastmont hosting Davis. And the Wildcats certainly hoping for that potential because they have had a lot of success against Davis this year. Their meetings earlier this season, Eastmont sweeping Davis on October 10th, 3-0. And earlier in the season on the road, also picking up a win on September 14th against Davis, 3 sets to 1. Meanwhile, Moses Lake knocked off Eastmont earlier this season in the first game of the season, 3-2. The Wildcats were able to take care of the Chiefs in straight sets October 5th. So you got to think Eastmont playing a little bit better volleyball, but you never know when it comes time for that play-in game. So if you're Eastmont and if you're Coach Dana Pruitt, you're probably looking for that opportunity to play Davis in that play-in game on Wednesday night. We're going to take a break and come back and get you ready for the special presentation here on senior night. We'll do that after this 60-second timeout. You're watching volleyball tonight here on the NCW Life Channel. It's Eastmont hosting Eisenhower. We're back after this. It is senior night here at Eastmont High School, and we will get a little help from the public address announcer here tonight to make the announcements on senior night.
And there are 6 seniors that we would like to recognize. Starting with number 2, Alex Bissett. Her parents are Brian Bissett and Alyssa Bissett, and her brother Dallas.
So we've got Alex Bissett out there with her parents coming out to the floor. Flowers all around.
Next up is Rebecca Hall. Her parents are Chris and Jody Hall, and her sister is Brittany Hall. Next is Carmen Lang. Parents are Joe and Jennifer Lang.
So Carmen Lang being waiting for Coach Dana Pruitt to hug both mom and dad first before
Our next senior
they
is
exchange
Alondra
flowers.
Mendez. Her parents are Ivan and Maribel Mendez, and brothers Isaac and Eddie.
Alondra Mendez stepping out now. Mom and dad and the family coming out. Nice to have the younger brothers here. Alondra's played so well down the stretch here for the Eastmont Lady Cats.
Next up is Maddie Sackman, accompanied by parents Brian and Laura Sackman and sister Anna.
Maddie Sackman, key cog for this Eastmont Lady Cat team, hoping to get a return trip to this state tournament. Got a big contingent here tonight to usher her through senior night.
And last but not least is senior Shane Stanaway.
Shane Stanaway. Of all of the Lady Cat seniors, Shane having probably the most emotion on her face right now anyway. Big smile. She hands mom some flowers and mom returns the favor.
It has been a pleasure to watch you play and to coach you.
And there you have it, the seniors here on senior night being introduced here in front of the home crowd at Eastmont High School. And Russ Waterman, athletic director for Eastmont High School over there, snapping some photos, going to share those on Facebook, I'm sure. So there you go. And also I should mention here that there is, and I'm trying to find them right now, where they're sitting. Michael will help me out. Michael, go ahead and swing the camera around and show some of the Wenatchee girls that are here. The Wenatchee Panthers, they finish up the season against Eastmont earlier this week, and so quite a few of the Wenatchee Panther volleyball players are here. And I asked Devin Anderson, I said, you're here? She says, yeah, because we know these girls, we're here to support, and you know, we're Panthers, and when we're across from the net from each other, it's a big battle, but when it comes to special nights, hey, we like to support them as well. So neat opportunity and showing a lot of class for the Wenatchee Panther girls for being here tonight. We have the anthem ready to go, and we will be ready for the first service. We'll take a 60-second break and come back as they do the lineups, and we'll do the anthem. We'll have that for you, and we'll get the first serve of the night. Eastmont, Eisenhower, coming up next on the NCW Life Channel. There we go, ready for volleyball tonight on the NCW Life Channel. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Leanne Branham had kid duty tonight, and also, not just kid duty, but also the 2B district tournament happening at Wenatchee High School tonight while we're doing this wrap-up on the regular season in the Big Nine here at Eastmont High School. It is the Wildcats and the Cadets, both with 6-5 records, both trying to get that number 3 seed heading into the district tournament play-in game, no matter what, at home next Wednesday for the Eastmont Lady Cats. They're trying to nail down the number 3 seed. Of course, that also depends on, or might determine, whom you'll face trying to get to state through the district tournament. Leanne Branham reminding me last week that, or earlier this week in the matchup between Eastmont and Wenatchee, that there are 2 seeds for the Big Nine to get into the state tournament this year. So the district champion will get in, and then whomever takes second place. Wenatchee will play West Valley for the district championship a week from Saturday, with the number 1 facing the number 2. And then the loser of that will face off against the rest that advance past the play-in games here next week. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by First Choice Collision Center, Heritage Memorial Chapel, and Wenatchee Racket and Athletic Club. Well, Eastmont, a couple of nights ago, had a great challenge in their match with Wenatchee, falling in the first set 25-23, and then losing the next 2 in a row. So Wenatchee getting the victory, and we are underway here at Eastmont High School. Sackman up front to Stanaway. The kill attempt by Rebecca Hall. Little miscommunication on the back line, and right away Eastmont grabs a 1-0 lead. Out there, Andrea Garza for Eisenhower. She's number 9. The service by Stanaway. Back line it goes. Picked up by Ebony Johnson. And a mishit there by Brooklyn Castle. Sails towards the bench. And another point for Eastmont. So Stanaway on the service. Red zone very active here tonight on senior night for the Wildcats. They'll get it up front. And the hit near side by Alan Griggs. Here's the kill attempt at the net by Carmen Lang. Now they get it over. It's deep and out. A little bit too strong there by Ashton Houghton. And it's a 3-0 game here for Eastmont in this first set. 1-3 wins the match. Stanaway with the service, ricocheting high off an arm, and Eisenhower just gets it over. Young Eisenhower team. Stanaway with the set to. Beautiful kill there by Mendez. Alondra Mendez with her first kill of the night for the Wildcats. Up 4-0. Mentioned that these 2 teams played earlier this season. Beautiful ace that time for Stanaway. Sprawling down after it was Mackenzie Schwabach. Couldn't get to it. And now a substitution here for Eisenhower. They'll bring their libero, Madison Peroni, in. And the service by Stanaway. Back line it goes to Johnson. Now up front for the kill at the net, but it went right into the net by Schwabach. And it's a 6-0 game. We're going to get a timeout taken here by Eisenhower. So we'll take a 30-second break as well here on the broadcast and come back. 6-0, Eastmont up here in the first set. We'll take a 30-second break and come back. You're watching Big Nine Volleyball tonight here on the NCW Life Channel. Stanaway on the service again for Eastmont, leading at 6-0 here in this first set. Eisenhower just kind of in a scramble mode right now. Stanaway with the kill, and there's Rebecca Hall for Eastmont. These 2 teams played earlier, in fact in October on the 3rd. Eastmont coming up on the win on the road, 3-0. 7-0 here, Stanaway on the service. Coming up was Castle. Now the kill attempt by Peroni. Stanaway sets it for Lang, and it is out or in. They're going to say it was in. Oh, touched. That's what they're saying. So a point to the Wildcats. 8-0. Stanaway on senior night. The senior with the service. Set up front, and here's the kill. Hit the net. That's a tough one to scramble after. Lang gets it across. And now Eisenhower with the counter. Getting it across was Johnson. We're going to get into the net by Eastmont. And it will be a point, the first point of the night for Eisenhower. Mackenzie Schwabach will be on the service here. Right-handed service coming from the deep left position. And a jump serve, cross court. Nice job by Sackman just to get a piece of it. And now Hall gets it over. Back line it goes to Schwabach. Up front to Garza. The kill attempt by Houghton. And Eastmont scrambling, not going to get to it. And it's a point for Eisenhower. Couple of points in a row for the Cadets after Eastmont got the first 8. And Schwabach on the service. Jump serve again, right hand goes cross court to Sackman, up front to Stanaway, and a kill attempt at the net, and that one is in, and that was off of Carmen Lang, spinning out of bounds off of a Ike hand. Substitution for the Cadets, and they didn't give me a 15, so Jasmine Garcia is the only freshman, or the only person I see with a 15 on their jersey, and the service across here for Eastmont. And now a nice kill attempt. Eastmont with the counter, though. Nice job by the Wildcats. Sackman's going to find a spot there after it skipped off of the hand of Andrea Garza up front. And a point to Eastmont. 10-2 the score. Hall continues on the service for the Wildcats. Back line, and that will sail off the hand of Castle out of bounds. And Coach Brad Ackerman comes off the bench quickly and talks to his ladies about the setup here on the service by Rebecca Hall. Hall this time skips the net. Scramble here for Eisenhower after it barely got across. Getting it over was Castle. Eastmont Stanaway, now to Lang, off of a hand up front on the partial block. Now the set across and a kill attempt here near side. Eastmont right there. Stanaway reverses it to Lang and couldn't get enough on it. And that'll be a point to Eisenhower. 11-3 our score here in the first set. As Madison Peroni comes in. Also Chandler Cree will come in for the first time for the Cadets. And Coach Ackerman. Meanwhile, Peroni way back in the corner on the service. Comes in, and boy, that's a good serve there. Stanaway tried to get it, but it skips off of her hand and sails backwards. So it's a point to Eisenhower, trailing it now 11-4. And the service. Hall with it, and that's tapped right back to the net, and a nice easy opportunity for Ashton Houghton. She'll put that one away, and it is another point to the Cadets coming back in this one, 11-5. Eastmont scored the first 8 before the Cadets got on the board. They're trying to make a run here as the service is by Peroni. Low and scooping it up for Eastmont was Bissett, and now they get it back across. Near side, little tap at the net on the runner. Stanaway with the counter to Lang. Now front, and there is a nasty kill at the net by Sackman, who just loads up and says, "Senior night, here you go." Substitution here for Eastmont. Bissett comes out and Vaughn comes in. Meanwhile, back to serve is Alondra Mendez. 12-5 the score here in the first set. Playing to 25. Back line, Eisenhower on the return. Now near side, kill attempt, but right there Rebecca Hall to Stanaway, crosses over to Sackman. Castle on the return. Nice idea by Houghton. Eastmont right there, however. Sackman again, this time in the net, a little bit too low on the right-handed kill shot. And it's a 12-6 contest, and for the first time we'll see Colby Volschel into the contest. Substitution for the Cadets. Back to serve will be Courtney Castle. Courtney goes all the way back to the wall. Now she approaches, and the service across the way. Volschel is there. Off to Stanaway, now to Lang. Lang had it partially blocked, but the Cadets scrambling. They get it back over. Does Garcia. And up front, the kill attempt by Vaughn. It's going to be 4 hits here for Eastmont, as Vaughn kind of whiffed on that one. And it's a 12-7 contest. So Ike off to a slow start, but not going away here in the first set. And Castle again on the service. The 5'6" sophomore approaches. Right-handed service to Volschel. Up front, Stanaway, and that's a tough set. Sackman got it across. Stanaway sends it back. Rebecca Hall with it. Now Sackman for the set and kill. Answer. Ike tapping. Stanaway. Backline Volschel up to Sackman. Sackman, a little soft one this time, gets the point for the Eastmont Wildcats. Good volley back and forth. Good play here near side by Ashton Houghton, a 6-foot junior for the Cadets. Emma Damon will come in for the first time for Eastmont here to serve, while Carmen Lang heads to the bench. Damon's service, back line. Eisenhower getting it up to Houghton, and Houghton gets the right-handed shot that falls in. I think Eastmont was surprised that they were able to get that after a nasty serve there. Schwabach comes back into the lineup here. 13-8, suddenly a 5-point differential. As back, we'll see Ashton Houghton for the first time serve in this one. Houghton on the service. Rifle shot back to Voschel. Now to Sackman. Sackman back line to Peroni. Now the little tap at the net. Scrambling around. Damon feeds. Sackman's hit is in. Guess it got back in the corner back there. Tough angle for me to see it, but 14-8. Eastmont on top, and Maddie Sackman with the service. Jump serve by Sackman. A little miscommunication there for Eisenhower. They get it back. Sackman on the return. Off to Damon, now to Hall. Hall had it blocked. She'll touch it. So to Stanaway. Now Sackman gets it over. A little touch at the net, and kind of awkwardly Chandler Cree up there with the right hand, and that will spin out of control and fall to the floor. And a point for Eastmont. 15-8. Sackman continuing to serve here on senior night for the Wildcats. Maddie's jump serve, back line, it goes to Castle. Up front, reverse set, and here was the hit by Cree. Eastmont scrambling. Voschel gets it over. Back line, it goes again, but nobody's going to return it after Courtney Castle went down. The ball spinning, but nobody being aggressive enough to take care of it. So 16-8, point to Eastmont. Sackman again, the service a little bit too low, however, and will be a point to the Cadets. Substitutions, Ebony Johnson comes back in, so too does Tamaya Allen-Greggs, and the service will be Ebony Johnson. Appreciate you joining us here on the NCW Life Channel for Big Nine Volleyball here tonight. Jump serve, back line, Voschel got it. Off to Damon, and Sackman cleans it up. Up front, it is Houghton, and good counter by Voschel again. Sackman gets it across. Now a little set, and that'll be up to Hall. Back to Damon, and now the kill attempt by Stanaway. Eisenhower counters. Cadets mishit there. Little miscommunication as Ebony Johnson and Ashton Houghton kind of come together. Too close, hit the ball at the same time, so that was it, and a point to Eastmont. 17-9 the score, and we'll take a 30-second break as Eisenhower takes a break as well. We'll be back. You're watching Big Nine Volleyball tonight here on the NCW Life Channel. We'll be right back. (17-9) Eastmont on top. Wildcats continue on the service here, I believe. Should be Eastmont serve. After the point went to Eastmont before the timeout. And it will be Alex Bissett on the serve here for the Wildcats. Back line to Castle. Up front, and Houghton just had to get it across. Now to Damon. Stanaway with the kill. Block at the net, and they get it back in the corner. Sackman chases it down, and Hall nearly runs into Damon, but they get it across. Damon set, Hall hit, block. Scooping it up, Eisenhower, and now Houghton from the back line. Falling down, nice job by Bissett. And this time it'll be a point for the Wildcats. On the block attempt at the nets, a little bit too much room in front of Allen-Greggs on that block, and that allowed the ball to spin forward and get between she and the net. Service again by Bissett. And again, miscommunication up front, but they do get it over, does Eisenhower. Stanaway cleans that one up, almost dangerous for the Wildcats. A touch at the nets. As Mendez doing well at the line here for the Wildcats. Set to the near side. Back line it goes to Bissett. And now a nice idea by Damon. So rolling around. Eastmont getting themselves in the right position. Bissett back line. And that a little bit too strong off of the double-fisted Ebony Johnson. And it will be a point for Eastmont. Wildcats back to a 10-point bulge here in the first set. 19-9 the score. Bissett on the service again. Back line, she'll get it to Houghton back there. And now up front, kill attempt, but Eastmont to the line. Another block at the net. This one's over. Eisenhower scrambling, and then it hits the coach in the back of the shoulder. And will be a point to Eastmont. 20-9 the score. Eisenhower's used both of their timeouts, so they don't have a timeout left here. They can substitute between points. Jump set for Castle. Near side to Schwabach, too strong on the hit. Eastmont 21-9 now. Alex Bissett on the service. Back line, it goes to Houghton. And near side on the kill attempt by Castle. Eastmont counters. Rebecca Hall with a block at the net, and it will sail out of bounds. A point for Eastmont. Good job of getting up by Brooklyn Castle that time, but you know, sometimes you just can't control those thunder hits that go off your hands, and that one went out of bounds. Bissett on the service again. Tough serve. It's returned by Castle. Now the kill near side. Schwabach's been trying to get that one in there. She finally does for the point for the Cadets. Substitution for Eisenhower. Andrea Garza comes back in while Courtney Castle takes a seat. And back to the service on the line is Brooklyn Castle. Brooklyn looks over towards her coach Ackerman. Gets where he wants the service to go. And they get it across. Nice job by Hall on the return. There's the hit by Mendez, and it's a point to Eastmont. Alondra Mendez, a little pirouette there after the point with a big smile on her face. Carmen Lang will come and join the fun here for the Wildcats, leading at 23-10. And Shane Stanaway, who started things off with 8 consecutive points for Eastmont, back there serving again. Rightful serve this time. Up front it comes to Castle. Near side, block at the net. I don't even know if that touch to the Wildcat. They say it did. All right, so Sackman continues it here. Stanaway up front to Hall. Point to Eastmont, and they're a point away from winning this first set. So Stanaway, let's see, that's 8, 9, I think 9 points for Stanaway on the service here for Eastmont in this first set. Shane on the service. Tough serve again. Scramble here for the Cadets. Castle will get it up for the kill and a point for the Cadets. So Eisenhower staying alive. 24-11 the score now. And Schwabach will head back to serve for Eisenhower. I think they list her wrong here. That says 5 feet. I think she's more like 6 feet. Kind of tall. Back line, it goes to Bissett. Stanaway over her head. Eastmont gets it over with Carmen Lang. Up front, it goes to Garza. Tap at the net here by Greggs. And Eastmont counters. Again, it's Garza. Near side, little tap for Houghton. And nice try by Mendez to keep the ball alive after a block. But Houghton gets the point here for the Cadets. Cut the lead to 24-12. Next point for the Eastmont side would be the set. Service, Schwabach. Back line to Hall. Hall up front to Stanaway. She'll reverse it back, and there's a kill, and that's the set. Nice play by Rebecca Hall and Shane Stanaway. And Eastmont takes the first one here tonight by a score of 25-12. We'll take a 60-second break and come back and get you set number 2 on the way here on Senior Night at Eastmont High School. You're watching Big 9 Volleyball on the NCW Life Channel. We're back after this 60-second timeout. Eastmont takes the first set over Eisenhower 25-12 as we get ready for the second set. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Take a walk on the wild side. And by Town Nissan, your local East Wenatchee Nissan dealer where honesty and transparency come first. Collins Fashions in downtown Wenatchee. Real clothes for real women. And Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge your town Chrysler family store where people get nice surprises. Well, the WIAA came out with their Athletes of the Week for, I think it was week 6, or was it week 8? I think maybe week 8. And congratulations to Devin Schneider, named 4A Boys Athlete of the Week for football with his, 255 yards rushing against Davis in a win last week. So congrats to Devin Schneider. Also, the WIAA came out with their academic fall state champions, and the Eastmont boys cross-country team are academic state champs. And I want to say their average GPA for the 9 varsity runners they have was 3.958. I mean, just ridiculously high. So congratulations to the Eastmont cross-country team, academic state champions here for Eastmont High School. And they do have a banner that hangs up to the right of the scoreboard here of their academic state championships along the way. So the boys cross-country team will be added to that list and added to the banner. So congratulations. I think Liberty Bell had an academic state champion as well in not remembering what sport it was. And Myra Cooley Hartline also with an academic state championship from here in North Central Washington. So congrats all the way around. Not only performing well on the field or on the courts, but also performing well in the classroom. So we got the teams all lined up, getting ready to go. It'll be the cadet service here for our second set after Eastmont won the first one 25-12. And Brooklyn Castle will be on the serve here for Eisenhower. Circuitous route to the serve. Bassett on the return for Eastmont, and the Wildcats can't get themselves adjusted properly here as Stanaway tried to set it up for Mendez, and it goes awry. 1-0. Eisenhower on top, and that's their first lead of the night. Again, Castle on the serve, and this one is out. Stanaway, where she did so well in the first sets, coming up with, I think, 9 service points for Eastmont. Will be on the serve here. Back line, it goes to Houghton. Eastmont there trying to block it at the net. Now they need to scramble. Hall with a nice kill attempt. And there's Mendez picking it up at the net. Nice try there. Crossover, and Schwabach gets it across. Now a reverse slide and a beautiful play by Carmen Lang. It drops in for a point for the Wildcats. 2-1 the score. Eastmont on top. Stanaway continues with the service here for Eastmont. Deep serve, back line, and Eisenhower setting it up here. As Schwabach, a little soft on the set, and Rebecca Hall, nice job by Rebecca. At the line, just a little finesse shot, finding the hole in the pond. I know Leanne would be so proud of me right now. 3-1 the score, Eastmont on top. Stanaway on the service. Back line it goes to Houghton. They get it across. Bissett now to Lang. Kill for Lang, a little bit too strong. Coach Dana Pruitt getting these seniors a lot of playing time here on senior night. Nice to see. And it will be Schwabach on the service here for Eisenhower. Service barely gets across. Hall to Stanaway to Mendez. Blocked. Mendez touched it. It'll go ricocheting off of a chair here in front of the Eastmont bench. So a point to Eisenhower. We're tied at 3. Schwabach again on the service for the Cadets. Back line to Bissett. To Stanaway to Hall. Hall crosses it over to Houghton. And point to Eastmont. That one goes under the net this time. Substitution here for the Cadets. As in comes Jasmine Garcia. And it's Rebecca Hall on the service here for Eastmont, up 4-3. Jump serve getting down low on the return was Castle, and Bissett on the back line there just couldn't quite get that one. So it's a point to the Cadets, and we're tied again, this time at 4. Substitution comes in for the Cadets as Chandler Cree comes back in. Meanwhile, the libero, Madison Peroni, will be back to serve here for Eisenhower. Right-handed serve from the left side back there, from the right side, excuse me. Now to Mendez up front. Mendez goes to the back line with it, and nice idea and a nice placement there. Bissett couldn't chase after it, and I think that was Andrea Garza who put a right hand up and went back corner crossing with it. 5-4, Eisenhower on the lead here in the second set. Peroni, beautiful serve. That's basically an ace. Bissett got a piece of it, but Mendez couldn't finish it. And so it is a 2-point lead, largest of the night for Eisenhower. Peroni with the serve, back line to Bissett, now to Stanaway. Stanaway with a forward set to Sackman. It's blocked at the net, comes back. Stanaway says, all right, have it back. Houghton, down the line she goes with the point. Ashton, the 6-foot junior, with an emphatic point for the Cadets. Now they lead it 7-4. Peroni continues on the serve here for Eisenhower, and the red zone gets active, making a bunch of noise over near her service, and she serves it right into the net. So the red zone give them an assist on that one. Britt Vaughn wants to come in, but the official says, now you're too late. So Mendez on the service here for Eastmont, and that's going to be a point for the Wildcats. Almost a collision at the line there between Garza and Cree. Here comes Britt Vaughn. She'll replace Bissett in the lineup here for the Wildcats. And again, the service for Mendez. Oops. Sometimes that ball just has a funny way of getting away from you at times. Kobe Volschel comes back in for Eastmont. Meanwhile, back to serve for the Cadets is Courtney Castle. Leading it, do the Cadets 8-6. Deep serve to Volschel. Off to Stanaway. Here's Britt Vaughn with a kill at the net. That's a point for Eastmont. Britt had kind of a tough night the other night. Maybe not a tough night. She just did not have a lot of success at the net like we've seen her this season against Wenatchee. But then again, that's against the second best team in the Big Nine. Emma Damon comes in. She will have the service here for the Wildcats. Barely gets it over the net. Falling down. The Cadets trying to answer, and they're not going to get it. It was just amazing that Castle could get a hand on it. So we're tied at 8. Damon on the service. Back line for the Cadets. Not a lot of talk on the Eisenhower side of things. Damon. Set for Sackman. Sackman back line on the return. It's Garcia. Now up front to Houghton. Now to Damon. Reverses to Stanaway. Crosses over to Castle. Now the kill by Houghton, and that's a point for the Cadets. Substitution here for Eisenhower as Schwabach comes back in. And back to serve is Ashton Houghton. 9-8 the score. Eisenhower leading it by 1. They've led by as many as 3 here in this second set after Eastmont won the opener. Sackman goes a little softer this time, and a good idea as Maddie will get the point for Eastmont. And how many times do we see that over and over where Eastmont, anybody really, gets the point on the kill, and then they are the ones serving. Sackman on the service, and that's way too deep. A little extra zip there on that service, and it sails out of bounds. Ebony Johnson will now come in for Eisenhower as Coach Brad Ackerman gives some instruction in front of his bench, waiting for his player to serve, leading at 10-9. Back line, Sackman mishit that one, and it sails out of bounds. A point on the service. Ike by 2. Sometimes hard to focus on these special nights here. Senior night for these ladies. Back line, it is Voschel. Up front, Hall. Beautiful kill at the line for Rebecca Hall. She's having a great game tonight here for Eastmont. Britt Vaughn will be replaced by Bissett. And meanwhile, Mendez comes back in for the Wildcats as well. And Bissett will head back to serve here as her team trails by 1, 11-10. Good serve. Far side it goes. And they'll get it to Schwabach. Schwabach and Hall just had to get down after it. It goes out of bounds. It'll be a point to the Cadets. 12-10 the score, and another substitution for Eisenhower. Andrea Garza comes back in. She'll replace Courtney Castle. And back to serve is Brooklyn Castle on that rotation here for Coach Ackerman. Service by Castle. Down the line it goes to Hall. Up to Damon. Damon to Mendez. Mendez gets it across, and we're going to get a lift called, I think, or 2 hits called on Eisenhower. Carmen Lang replacing Damon in the lineup here for Eastmont. And again, back to serve will be Shane Stanaway. He's had a good game here tonight for the Wildcats, especially on the service. Schwabach got it through on the kill, kind of tipped the top of the net and got between Lang and Mendez. And it's a point to Cadets, 13-11 the score. So Eisenhower trying to bounce back after losing the first set here tonight, 25-12. Lead it here in the second. That's a dying quail, and that's going to be a point on a nasty serve back there for Eisenhower by Schwabach. The set went down, but that was a knuckleball. Eisenhower back to their largest lead at 3. Down the line to Hall, to Stanaway, to Mendez going forward, and she's able to stay out of the net. No, they're going to say she did go under the net. And so it's a point to Eisenhower. Tough when you're going forward like that on a set that's set forward to keep yourself out of the net, and sure enough, she didn't get into the net, but Mendez stepped over the line underneath the net. So it is a point to Dana Pruitt. Wants to get a little definition here of what happened. And Bill Liebert says, yep, she was under. So it's a point. I don't know if the scoreboard is correct yet. It says 14-12 up there. We'll have to check on that. Meanwhile, Hall with a kill at the net. As they said it was, well, they changed it back to 13. I think it is. Well, now they've got 15-11 up there. I still don't think they have the scoreboard right. I think it should be 14-12 now after that point by Eastmont. But Bill Liebert saying, hang on, our officials are talking it over. I think it's 14-12. Oh, they're going to leave it at 15-12. Okay. So the service by Hall, meanwhile, after the point for Eastmont. And now the kill at the net. Beautiful play by Ashton Houghton, the 6-foot junior. Comes up with a right hand, cross court, and a point on the kill. And Eisenhower back out to its largest lead at 4, 16-12. Madison Peroni will be on the service here for Eisenhower. Right-handed service down in the corner. Last time the red zone got into her ear, she served it in the net. Stanaway awfully close to the net there and had to try to get it back to somebody, but there was nobody there. Voschel comes back into the lineup. Bissett takes his seat for Coach Dana Pruitt, and it's a 5-point lead for Eisenhower. Cadets on the serve. Peroni back line to Hall. Hall up front to Stanaway. Stanaway set for Sackman. It's in. Cannon shot from Maddie Sackman, and a point for the Wildcats. They needed that one badly. 17-13. Let's see if that energizes the lineup here. Britt Vaughn will replace Bissett, who just came in, that double switch out there, as Voschel sits down, and Mendez will drop back to serve here for Eastmont. Wildcats could use a couple, 2-3 points in a row. Service by Mendez is in. Up to the front line it goes. I'm screened by the official. Eastmont scrambling, and it's going to be a point for the Cadets. They're doing well at those kills at the net that go to the back line, and Eastmont's not rotating well, and we're going to get a timeout. Dana Pruitt wants to talk to her crew about probably that very thing. So we'll take a 30-second break and come back as Eisenhower leads it by 5, 18-13 over Eastmont. You're watching Big 9 Volleyball tonight here on the NCW Live Channel. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. (18-13) timeout taken by Eastmont, their first of the night here, as Dana Pruitt wants to talk to her crew about the rotation. Oh, we never want to see it, but if there is an injury timeout, it's brought to you by Confluence Health, Wenatchee's premier treatment center for all sports-related injuries. Red zone trying to get into it here, and the service, Voschel goes down after it. Britt Vaughn blocked at the net. Eastmont talking more. Sackman with a little touch. Scrambled by Eisenhower, and that goes into the net. It'll be 4 hits, and it will be a point to Eastmont. Well, Leanne Branham talks about that all the time. You got the other team on a run. You get a coach point on that one because Dan Pruitt took the timeout, snapped the spin. 18-14 as Emma Damon will drop back to serve now for Eastmont. Jump serve, tips the top of the net. Cadets counter. And now they get it across. Back to Bissett, or to Hall. Now to Sackman, it's in! Maddie Sackman's had a couple of those kills that got just inside the back line. She does it again here, makes it an 18-15 contest. Service continues for Emma Damon. Jumps up, serves. Back line, it goes to Peroni. Now they'll shovel it up front and get it across, does Houghton. Now's Britt Vaughn with the kill. It's in! So Eastmont says, you know what, if you guys can kill it at the net and go to the back line, so too can we. We're going to take a timeout as Eisenhower's coach Brad Ackerman wants to talk about it. We'll take a 30-second break on our broadcast. 18-16 to score. We're back after this on the NCW Live Channel. Welcome back once again to Eastmont High School on senior night. The Red Zone Rock is here tonight, and I also can hear the Wenatchee Panther girls that are here also cheering for Eastmont. Nice touch. Damon on the service. Back line it goes to Garcia. Now up front, a little tough there. After the timeout taken by the Cadets, Sackman with the kill at the net, and that's going to be 4 hits against Eastmont, as it did not go over before the required minimum. Garcia replaced by Schwabach here. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by First Choice Collision Center, Heritage Memorial Chapel, and Wenatchee Racket and Athletic Club. It'll be Ashton Houghton on the service, as this place is a loud one here tonight. Houghton serve, down, ace. Voschel, who we've seen just like a magnet all season long, couldn't get the connectivity, plus versus minus on that one. It's a 4-point lead here for the Cadets. 16-20, and right into the net it goes. Eastmont needed a little help there and got some from the heavens above. Trailing it by 3, Maddie Sackman on the service. Set number 2 after Eastmont took the first set. Served by Maddie. Returned by the Cadets, and they tried to do a reverse back to Cree. She's had kind of a tough game tonight. Point to Eastmont. Trail it by 2 now, 20-18. Sackman service, into the net it goes. Quite a few unforced errors here tonight for Eastmont. Substitution as Ebony Johnson comes in, the serving specialist, as the Cadets lead it by 3. Here comes the loudness from the red zone. Jump serve, crossing over. Vaughn got it. They'll serve it back to her, and that's going to be a point to the Cadets. Britt Vaughn on the set to her from Damon. As the Cadets smelling maybe a victory here in the second set, 22-18. Service, backline Voschel, up to Damon, near side Hall. Hall, it's in. So many points in this set. Off the kill, coming just inside that back line. Mendez will come back in here for Eastmont. Vaughn will take a seat, and it's Voschel on the serve. Back line, Houghton. Now they get it up front to, is it still alive? No, we got a whistle called, and it is a point to the Cadets. 23-19. Nice try on the pancake there by Voschel, but they're going to give the point to the Cadets. And on the service, it'll be Brooklyn Castle. 23-19, 2 points away from wrapping this second set up are the Cadets. Down the line it goes. Hall can't return it. Caught her off guard as they change it up and go down the line. We're going to get a timeout taken by Dana Pruitt here, as her team is a point away from losing this one. We'll see what they do when we come back. 30-second break on the broadcast. 24-19, Eisenhower on top. Thanks for watching Big Nine Volleyball tonight on the NCW Life Channel. We'll be right back. On the service, it's Brooklyn Castle. 1 point away, and Bill Liebert says, hold on. And now the whistle sounds. Castle will approach again. The jump serve down the line, an ace again, and how about that? The Cadets win the second here, 25-20 over Eastmont. Actually, I think it's 25-19 was the final. They gave the point to the wrong side. We will take a break and come back. 60 seconds here on the broadcast. We're even at one apiece. We'll play at least 4 tonight. We'll come back with more Big Nine Volleyball next on the NCW Life Channel. So we're tied up at a set apiece after Eastmont took the opener 25-12. Eisenhower bounces back and takes the second 25-19. So to the third we go. And it should be Eastmont service to start this one out. Our broadcast tonight and our opening serve brought to you by TC Slingers. Rock, bark, sand, soil, they'll place the material for you. That's at TC Slingers. We appreciate their sponsorship here on the NCW Life Channel as we wind down the fall sports season. Just a few items left. We've been getting a lot of phone calls, a lot of email questions, Facebook questions to us about our coverage of the postseason. We can do the play-in games. We can do, well, as long as they're at Eastmont or Wenatchee High School. We're kind of limited as far as technologically on what we can do. When they go to state, we are inhibited not so much by technology, but by cost. The cost beyond doing just district games becomes quite cost prohibitive for us here at the NCW Life Channel to do state broadcasts that are sanctioned by the WIAA. So we wish it were different, but unfortunately that's what we have to deal with. Now, if there's somebody out there that wants to be philanthropic and help cover those costs, I'd be happy to talk to you. But not much we can do about costs over $1,000 per broadcast to do state contests. That makes it impossible for us to do fiscally. So we hope you understand. Shane Stanaway will have the service here. She did a great job serving the first 8 points of the game in the first set. as we're now tied at a set apiece. And the service by Stanaway is going to be an ace. Nice hard serve there that caroms off of the fist of Ashton Houghton. Stanaway. Brad Ackerman rearranging his ladies. They're checking the lineup here to make sure that everybody's in the right spot. And he just said that to Brooklyn Castle, number 6 will be his first server. So Bill Liebert checking and saying, okay, rotation looks like it's right. Stanaway waiting for her second service of this third set, and so she will approach, and here we go. Return, little soft shot there by Eisenhower. Stanaway on the set, over to Hall. Return, nice job by Eisenhower, as flicking it across was Alan Greggs. And now Hall with the kill, and that caroms off. We're going to get a double hit called against Andrea Garza, and a point to Eastmont. The scoreboard at the end of our second set was incorrect. It said 25-20. The final score was 25-19. And the second, advantage Eisenhower. And speaking of advantage Eisenhower, Mackenzie Schweba with the kill, cross court. Off of Volschel, out of bounds. And a point to the Cadets. Brooklyn Castle now on the service here for Eisenhower. Right-hander from the right corner, she comes. Crosses over to Hall. Now to Stanaway. Now Mendez with the kill. Back line just inside. Eastmont leads it 3-1. Mendez finding some strength and confidence here down the stretch for the Wildcats. Hall on the service. A floater comes across. Chase for Castle. Now they get it across from Cree. Now a little touch at the net by Lang. Garcia gets it across. And we're going to get a double hit called on Shane Stanaway. Just didn't quite have her hands and her fingers with that proper tensile strength, if you will. And so it kind of caromed off of one hand, then hit the other. Double hit called. And it's Schwebach on the service. Eisenhower trailing at 3-2. Back line to Hall. Stanaway got it across. And now Lang, just reaction time. And Volschel gets it across. Here comes the hit at the line by Alan Greggs. And now Sackman with a nasty hit at the net. Still alive for Eisenhower. Back line, Volschel got a piece of it. Now they rotate around. Lang gets it across. Schwebach up front. It goes to Cray. And a kill and a point for the Cadets. And boy, they're feeling it here on the road tonight. Ashton Houghton with the kill. We're tied at 3. Mackenzie Schwebach continuing here on the service for Eisenhower. The service, tough one to return, and not much Eastmont's Colby Volschel could do with that one. 4-3, the Cadets take their first lead here of the third set after winning the second. Schwebach, service, back line, that was awfully deep. Hall spins awkwardly off of her hands. They get it across, sprawling out is Eisenhower. They need to get it across. Schwebach does. Now to Hall, chasing around Mendez, gets it across. No, they're going to say it was out on the wrong side of the antenna as Mendez was chasing it down. 5-3, Eastmont out of sorts here. Schwebach serving 4 points in a row. Stanaway, the set for Sackman. Maddie too deep. Doubling the lead now. 6-3, Eisenhower. Schwebach continues from the left corner on the service with the right hand, and a nice call between Volschel and Rebecca Hall back there on the back line saying that's too deep. And so they let it sail out of bounds. Schwebach replaced in the lineup here by Jasmine Garcia. Meanwhile, it is Alondra Mendez on the service for Eastmont.
looking for a counter here after several points in a row by the Cadets. Up front it goes to Garza. Now the kill at the net. Vaughn kept it alive as she just checked in. Stanaway goes back line to it. Up front again to Garza, the set, and now the kill attempt by Garcia. The Wildcats, Lang, again Garza, backs up to Castle. Now the kill, and it is touched at the net. They're going to say no, out, according to Bill Liebert. Brad Ackerman says it was touched at the line, or at the net, and Bill's going to confer with all of the officials here to check on this point. It's either a 6-5 Eastmont serve or it is a 7-4 Cadet serve. On the kill at the net by Ashton Houghton. And it is a point. They are going to say that it was touched at the net by Eastmont. Red Zone not happy about that. Rebecca Hall comes over, and she is the representative for Eastmont, to talk to the official, Bill Liebert, to give that breakdown to her coach, Dana Pruitt. And meanwhile, it is Madison Peroni on the service as it's 7-4 Eisenhower. Turning into a Donnybrook here tonight. Backline to Hall. Hall up front to Stanaway, now to Sackmans. Maddie with a nice touch at the net. Garza, near side Houghton. It's too deep and out. Substitution for Eastmont. Lang takes a seat and Damon comes in. 7-5 the score, Cadets by 2. Emma on the service here in the third set, tied at a set apiece. Back line to Garcia. Now we're going to get a double hit called against the libero Peroni. And a point to Eastmont. It's a 7-6 contest. Damon on the service. Jump serve back line. Peroni got it. Now to Garza. And now the kill attempt by Castle. Up front Damon. And the kill by Sackman. And it falls in. Rebecca Hall tried to get out after it. Can't get it. And an 8-6 Eisenhower lead. Substitution. Courtney Castle comes in for the Cadets, replacing Andrea Garza. And Castle back to serve. 8-6 Eisenhower up here in the third set. Good serve, and again a miss hit there, but Voschel chasing it down. Hall gets it across. Voschel gets up to her feet. Meanwhile, the ball over on the Eisenhower side. Here's a set at the net, and it's going to be a point for Eastmont. No, that was about 6 hits. It didn't touch anybody at the net. Now a block at the net by Eisenhower. They'll get it back across. Hall with it. They'll go back line to it. Reverse was Castle. Little touch. There's Sackman. Now up front again to Castle. Houghton. Block at the net by Stanaway. Back and forth we go. Houghton goes back line. Hall is there. Now the set for Sackman. It's out. (9-6) Eisenhower. Service by Courtney Castle. Voschel awkwardly. She'll get it back from Vaughn, and it's out. Too deep. See kind of a little sign in some of the faces of the Eastmont Lady Cats, the confidence kind of leaking here. In a 10-6 contest, Eisenhower on top here in the third, and they serve it in the net, does Castle. Maddie Sackman back to serve for Eastmont. Desperately needing a little rally here. Back line to Peroni. Up front to Castle, to Houghton. Back line, there's Sackman. Up to Damon. Now to Hall, and Hall got bailed out, I think, by Peroni there. They get it back across. Sackman up front again. Here's Damon, reverses it to Stanaway. There's Peroni to Castle. And that one from Brooklyn to Courtney, a little too strong. Point to Eastmont. Trail it now by 2, 10-8. Maddie Sackman on the service. Back line, that's deep as well. Peroni, I think, bailed her out. Castle gets it across. Volschel back line. Damon with the set. Britt Vaughn, too deep. Those sets for Eastmont just got to be closer to the nets. That angle, you just can't get that angle to get up and get it in that far away from the net. Service for Ashton Houghton, leading it 11-8. Volschel on the return. Now to Damon. She'll reverse it to Vaughn. Vaughn got it across. Back line to Baroni. Now to Castle. She'll set it up and a block at the nets. Cadets get it across. Damon to Hall. In! Every point seems to be ones that Eastmont needs badly. Trailing it down by 2 as Mendez comes back in for the Wildcats. Volschel on the service. And that's a great serve. Houghton gets down after it, off to Castle, now to Schwabach at a block of the net. Schwabach with a touch. Off to Castle, Schwabach again, blocked at the net. Mendez, who came off the bench, comes in and provides the brick wall twice, and we're going to get a timeout taken by Eisenhower. We'll take a 30-second break and come back as well. 11-10 here in the third. You're watching Big 9 Volleyball on the NCW Life Channel. We'll be right back. (11-10). This has been good. After Eastmont took the opening set 25-12, looked like it might be a walk of the park tonight for the Wildcats on senior night, but no. Eisenhower came back, answered in the second, won it 25-19, and now Eastmont trying to answer back after the Cadets took an early lead here in this one. 11-10 the score. Volschel on the service for the Wildcats. Back line to Castle, up front to Castle, and now a little tap of the net and a point to Eastmont. A little too soft there for Chandler Cree. Colby tied at 11. Service, back line to Courtney. Now up front to her sister. Now a tap here by Schwabach. Now to Hall. Hall with a nasty kill. Skims off the fists of Madison Peroni out of bounds. Eastmont with a lead, 12-11. Volschel, just a nice dead ball that comes across the net, and that bounced off the chin of the returner, and a block. No need for the block. The net provided the block on that one for Mackenzie Schwabach. And Eastmont by 2. Wildcats answering here. Volschel. Another knuckleball serve. Castle, near side, Schwabach, back line. Damon up front for Hall. Hall, happy accident there as she missed it almost completely. Goes off of her fingertips and then dives over the net for the point for the Wildcats. 14-11. Volschel again on the service. Back line it goes to Castle, up front to her sister. Now over to Cree. Cree blocked at the net again by Mendez. Alondra Mendez, how about it? Senior coming through on senior night. 15-11. Volschel continuing to get the points again for Eastmont. We're going to get another timeout taken by Eisenhower as Eastmont has turned the tides in this third set, leading at 16-11. We'll take a 30-second break and come back here on the NCW Life Channel. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Take a walk to the wild side. And Town Nissan, your local East Wenatchee Nissan dealer where honesty and transparency come first. Service by Volschel, 16-11 after the timeout. And a kill by Schwabach, and give a point to the coach, Brad Ackerman, on that one after the timeout. Substitution here for the Cadets. Ebony Johnson comes in to serve. Also, Tamaya Allen Griggs that is, for Eisenhower. Jump, serve, and it's out. Boy, close. Volschel watching that one come all the way down and decides not to get after it. and a good choice. Damon replaced by Carmen Lang in the lineup. Stanaway, who's been great on the service tonight, back there for Eastmont, leading at 17-12. There's a rifle serve. Back to the one who just came in, Johnson. Johnson gets it across. Volschel, little bump. Now the skill by Mendez. Alondra Mendez gets up high for the kill for Eastmont. She's made the blocks. She's made the hits. Eastmont by 6. Stanaway to Castle. Now to her sister. Here's Alan Greggs at the line. It's spun off of a hand and falls in. Finally, the string is broken here by Eisenhower. Substitution as Garza comes back in to replace Courtney Castle. Back to serve is Brooklyn Castle. 18-13 the score, Eastmont by 5. Volschel on the return to Sackman. Now to Hall. She'll just get it over. Swaybach to Alan Greggs. Block at the net again by Mendez. Here's another block at the net again by Mendez and Lang. Little touch. They try to find a hole in the pond. They keep it alive. Here's Hall with a kill. Backline it goes. It's over. And a touch and a dunk at the net by Rebecca Hall. 19-13. Boy, just about the time I said it looked like confidence was leaking for Eastmont, they come storming back. Alan Greggs gets it across. Hall goes down, gets after it. Stanaway keeps it alive, but they're going to say it was 2 hits on Shane. And a point to Eisenhower. 19-14 the score. Cadets will send Schwabach back to serve. Schwabach on the service. Volschel down to get it. Now the touch by Lang. Beautiful play by Carmen Lang. Goes cross and finds the hole. (20-14), and Mendez is going to drop back to serve here for Eastmont. We're in the third. After they split the first 2, Eastmont won the opener. Eisenhower the second set. And Hall keeps it alive. Mendez, but this one's going to be too tough for Eastmont to track down. 20-15 the score. Mendez comes out, kind of shaking her hand and wrist a little bit after falling down on that one. Substitution for the Cadets. For the first time we see McKenna Helsen. Meanwhile, the service to Madison Peroni, trailing it by 5. Jump serve, back line. There's Volschel again. Stanaway to Britt Vaughn. Vaughn out. Too deep for Britt. Britt just trying to find her rhythm again. It's a couple of games in a row here where Britt has just not quite had that feel at the net. And Peroni on the service. That one's in the net and a point to Eastmont. They're back up by 5. 21-16. Emma Damon replaces Carmen Lang in the lineup. She'll drop back to serve.
Number 11, Emma Damon, entering the serve.
Eastmont won the opener 25-12, lost the second 25-19, trying to win the third here. Service by Damon. Going to drop down for an ace. Just lovely on those balls that just have that forward spin and duck down as soon as they get across the net. Damon again. This time returned by Castle to Garza. Kill for Houghton. My goodness, when she gets up there and gets after it, she can't weigh more than 125 pounds, but she gets all of it behind that hit. Does the junior for Eisenhower. 22-17, not done yet here in the third. And Courtney Castle will be on the service here for the Cadets. Castle serve into the net, it goes. And a point to Eastmont. Couple of errors in a row here for Eisenhower. Maddie Sackman on the service now for Eastmont. 2 points away from wrapping up this third set. Sackman's first serve, back line to Peroni. Up front to Castle. They had a little miscommunication. Peroni gets it across. Sackman now for Eastmont. Now to Hall. Hall just bumps it. Peroni diving down. Off to Castle. Little touch by Houghton. Blocked at the net. She got it back. Off to Sackman, now to Damon, now up front for the kill by Vaughn. This one spins out of bounds. It'll be a point to Eastmont. So close on the block attempt at the line for Eisenhower. Maddie Sackman trying to wrap it up here. Service, back line, Peroni. Up front to Castle, near side to Houghton. Houghton, Sackman right there. Damon goes back line. Scrambling is Eisenhower. Castle near side to Houghton again. There's Sackman, but this time it's going to skip off of Vaughn and be a point to Eisenhower as Maddie had her arms not quite the right way there as she was falling down. Substitution is, it'll be Schwayback coming back in for Eisenhower. And Jasmine Garcia takes a seat, and the service will be for Houghton. As it's again a 5-point or 6-point contest, 24-18. Houghton service. She stepped on the line. No call. Hall. Diving down Peroni. Castle got it across. To Voschel. Vaughn blocked at the net. Hall keeps it alive. Damon goes back corner. Diving play for Peroni. Somehow they got it, kept it alive. Vaughn at the net. Serve and a set and a point for Eastmont on the shot by Hall. And Eastmont wins the third, 25-18. My goodness. We'll take a 60-second break and come back for the fourth set here from Eastmont High School on senior night. You're watching Big Nine Volleyball on the NCW Life Channel. We'll be right back. Eastmont bounces back after losing the second set to Eisenhower to take set number 3, 25-18, and now are a set away from winning this one and securing the number 3 seed heading into the Big Nine district tournament next week and host here at Eastmont High School. It's going to happen no matter what. Game time, not quite sure. Usually the game times have been 7 o'clock. They might try to push it up a little bit earlier to 6. We'll see about that, and of course we'll have that for you on the NCW Life Channel if and when we get that information. Our broadcast brought to you by Collins Fashions in downtown Wenatchee. Real clothes for real women in Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge, your Town Chrysler family store where people get nice surprises. Again, you get a chance to stop by any of our sponsors. Say thank you for helping us bring you the broadcasts on the NCW Life Channel, on our television station on Channel 12, Local Tel Channel 12, on Charter Channel 19, and streaming online live at ncwlife.com. Just been texting back and forth with Leanne Branham, who's over taking care of the 2B volleyball district's first round at Wenatchee High School tonight. I sent her a score of this one after Eastmont won the opener 25-12. Ike won the second 25-19. Eastmont winning the third 25-18. And she says, wow, good one. Much better than what I have over here. I'm not sure. Well, I can imagine what she means by that, but appreciate you joining us here on the NCW Life Channel. Making sure that all the lineups are correct before we start this third set. We mentioned the two teams playing earlier back in October on the 3rd, with Eastmont sweeping Eisenhower on the road down in Yakima 3-0. Eastmont coming in having lost 3 of their past 5 games, so looking for a win to get themselves kind of on the right side heading into the playoffs. And our service backside to Voschel. Now to Mendez, and Alondra a little bit too strong on that hit at the nets, and so it's a point to Eisenhower. Brooklyn Castle on the service for the Cadets. And the jump serve down the line it goes. Damon to Stanaway to Voschel. She'll get it across. Now to Castle and Garza. Now a little tap by Hall at the net, and Damon gets it over. Nice shot by Emma. Back line it goes to Cree. Now to Alan Griggs. Sackman's there to Damon. Back line to Hall, and they're going to keep it across. They do get it across. My, oh my. Good scramble there for Eisenhower. Stanaway crosses over. Castle up front to Garza. There's Schwabach, but right there is the magnet. Voschel, Hall, crossing, points. Eastmont tied at 1. Carmen Lang replacing Emma Damon in the lineup here for the Wildcats.
Serving for the Wildcats, number 7, Shane Stanley.
And Stanaway back on the service for Eastmont. Shane has been very well suited for the service, and that's an ace, as they thought maybe it was a little deep. But it drops in for Stanaway. And a point for Eastmont, leading it 2-1 here, early going, 4th set tonight at Eastmont High School. Stanaway, again, back line. It's Ebony Johnson. They'll get it up to Schwabach, to Sackman, off to Stanaway. Kill attempt by Hall. Spins over towards the bench, but they get it across to Johnson. Now to Sackman, to Stanaway, to Lang, in! Good give and go there for Stanaway and Carmen Lang. Langen crosses, gets the point for Eastmont. 3-1, Wildcats on top. Stanaway on the service again for the Wildcats. Dead Quail there. Crosses over. Schwabach gets it across to Sackman, to Stanaway, to Mendez, and it's in! Hit the back line, and that ball is in. Alondra Mendez, last 3 games we've done here for Eastmont, has just been stellar for the Wildcats. Stanaway serving on the lead. There's a set basically at the net for Hall. She got it across. Now to Houghton, back line to Voschel. Stanaway, Hall, and into the net goes the Cadets. Point to Eastmont. 5-1 the score. Stanaway again on the service. That one barely gets over the nets, and it's going to be kind of a rotation problem there, because that ball hit the net, and then Castle came screaming in just to get a piece of it. Nobody else could touch it. 6-1, Eastmont by 5. Trying to get this set right here and wrap it up tonight on senior night. To block at the net, and it goes out of bounds and will be a point to Eisenhower. Right position for Eastmont, just bad luck bounce. Schwabach on the service for Eisenhower. Nearly skims the top of the net. Stanaway to Mendez, and blocked at the net there. Alan Griggs along with Houghton on the block. They got their big girls up front, and they played a nice wall there. Mendez and Alan Griggs talking to each other across the net from each other, saying, hey, that was a good one there. Congrats. Stanaway sets near side Lang. Lang stayed out of that and somehow got the ball, and that's coming by me. And it's a point to Eastmont. Michael Price, our cameraman tonight, is probably wondering, how come you didn't get that, Eric? It was a little out of my reach. I am not Kobe Voschel, the magnet. Service, tough serve, but they get it back. And a block at the net, and it's going to drop in for a point. Carmen Lang and Alondra Mendez, kind of twin towers up front for Eastmont tonight. 8-3, Wildcats on top. Service by Rebecca Hall. Back line, it goes to Castle, to Garza, now to Houghton. Blocked at the net again by Eastmont. They get it back over, Voschel back line. Stanaway's with the set. The tap by Carmen Lang, and this is going to come over, and a nice set for Maddie Sackman. She says, thank you very much. Salivating as she rose to collide with that one, and puts it in for the point, 9-3. Hall's service, back line, touched by Castle. Now the little tap of the net by Houghton. Now Eastmont, Sackman again. This one will spin off of a block attempt off the top of the net. Travelers, we're going to get a point by a double hit called against Eisenhower. Eastmont by 7. Timeout, Cadets. We'll take a 30-second break and come back. You're watching Big 9 Volleyball tonight here from Eastmont High School on the NCW Life Channel. 10-3 the score after a timeout taken by Eisenhower. Brad Ackerman trying to settle his troops down a little bit and maybe break the spell that Eastmont seems to have had since about midway through the last set. As I called it on the air saying it looked like confidence was leaking, well, they found a plug for that leak, did Eastmont, and took the third set trying to take the fourth here. Houghton with a diving attempt. Nice job by Volschel, and they get it across to the Wildcats. Set across, and Houghton just had to bump that one. Now to Volschel, now to Mendez. Touched by Sackman, point to Eastmont. Even when they're out of sorts here, it seems offensively they still are able to find a hole somewhere in that defense. Rebecca Hall continuing on the service, where she's served 5 points in a row. Back line it goes to Castle. Up front to Garza, and now to Houghton, and Houghton just struck that ball with her right hand. Goes under the net. Britt Vaughn retrieves it over here by the Eastmont bench, feeds it out to Rebecca Hall, leading it 12-3 on the service. Rifle shot to the back line to Castle. Up front to Garza, reverse on the kill. Nice play there. And give the point to Tamaya Allen-Greggs. She'll come out and get the fist bumps from her teammates as Chandler Cree comes back in for Eisenhower, trailing it by 8. Service to Madison Pironi. Pironi on the service. Back line to Volschel, squatting down, gets after it to Stanaway to Lang. Lang, I think it was touched at the net, and a point to Eastmont. Yes, it was. Britt Vaughn comes in. Volschel takes a seat, gets a fist bump first from her coach, Dana Pruitt. She'll head for the water tank, and meanwhile, Alondra Mendez has had a great game here tonight on the service. Down the line she goes. Pironi diving after it. Now Castle gets it across. Back line Mendez. Now to Stanaway. Now to Sackman, and that will just carry him off of the protection move by Jasmine Garcia with that ball sailing at her face. And a point to Eastmont, leading it by 10. Feeling it right now are the Wildcats. Mendez on the service. Back line to Pironi. Now in front to Garza, then to Houghton, but Houghton, she just, last few times she's had those opportunities at the net, waiting for that ball to get down on her a little bit, and so she hits it in the net. 15-4, Mendez continues to serve here for the Eastmont Lady Cats. Service down the line again to Pironi. Up front it comes. Now the kill attempt by Cree, blocked by Britt Vaughn. They get it back across. Hall up front to Stanaway. Stanaway reverses it to Lang, and that one's going to be knocked around by Eisenhower and then into the net. Substitution here. McKenna Helseth comes back in for Cree for the Cadets. It's a 16-4 contest. Eastmont with its largest lead all night long. Mendez on the service. Back line, Pironi, and nobody there to clean it up. I don't know where she was. Houghton was clear, almost out of bounds over there, it seemed. 17-4, Eastmont in charge here in the fourth set. After winning the first, losing the second, and picking up the win in the third. Mendez continues on the service for the Wildcats. Back line to Castle. Up front it goes to Garza. Now to Houghton again. So instead of killing it, she just gets it across. Now Vaughn with the block, and it goes out of bounds. And whatever Eastmont puts across the net, it seems it is positive for the Wildcats. 18-4. Alondra Mendez has served several points in a row here for Eastmont. Crosses it over this time to Castle. Up front, they'll get it to Houghton again. Houghton again on the miss hit. That's several in a row for her now, where she has hit it right into the net. Just letting that ball sail a little bit too close and too low, so the trajectory is off. 19-4, Eastmont. Mendez. Down the line to Pironi. Chase already underway for the Cadets, and they can't get it over. And even if she had, I think it would have been a point to Eastmont, because Andrea Garza had stepped under the net and stepped across the line. 20-4. How about Alondra Mendez here? Houghton to Castle. A miss hit again, and Eisenhower just rattled. The cage has been rattled here for the Cadets. Alondra seems like she's been serving for a half hour now. The service, back line, Castle. They'll get it across and stand away, and this one finally will fall on the Eastmont side as Britt Vaughn couldn't get to it. And a point for the Cadets here. 21-5 the score. Substitution as Courtney Castle comes in here on the service. The specialist for the Cadets will try to snap this spell. Jump serve to Lang. Stand away. Back to Vaughn. Blocked at the net. And a point for the Cadets. No, they're going to say Eastmont with the point as it went out of bounds on the block. So Eastmont says thank you very much. Emma Damon comes in to replace Carmen Lang, and she'll have the service with her team up 21-5. Damon, service, back line. Peroni to Castle. Out. So she got it across the net, Houghton did that time, but then too deep. The red zone saying this game's over. Goodness. We've got 2 points to go, boys. Damon on the service. Peroni up front. Castle gets it across. Falling down, trying to get it was Damon. She got a piece of it, but then Britt Vaughn couldn't follow. And it's a point to the Cadets, so they keep it alive. Substitution as back in comes Schwabach. And back to serve is Ashton Houghton. Well, she just got to be frustrated right now. She can't seem to quite find the rhythm at the net. So now she's back away from the net, and boy, she can't find it there either. Kind of feel sorry for the 6-foot junior. Things have just come apart for here. So Maddie Sackman, the senior on senior night, will back up and try to wrap it up here for Eastmont to conclude the regular season. Her service is out, barely. Johnson comes back in, so too does Tamaya Allen-Greggs for Eisenhower. They're getting a little sloppy on the exchanges here on the substitutions. The officials get it all straight. 24-7 the score. What do you think? A defensive point for Eastmont. Emily Johnson on the service. It's across. Sackman to Damon. Near side. Hall. Return. Hall again. Going to set it up for Damon. Now to Britt Vaughn. Vaughn had it partially deflected at the line. This one is going to be killed by Stanaway. She pumps a fist in the air, and a senior helps finish it up for Eastmont on senior night. And then she's mugged out there by Mendez, and the Wildcats win it here in the fourth. And they already took the score off the scoreboard, typical for Eastmont High School. And I think it was 25-9. I'll have to go to the official scores table to get the final on that one because they shut everything down on me. So that will do it. Eastmont wins it 3-1 here. Come back and wrap it up with our post-game show on the way on the NCW Life Channel. Again, Eastmont takes it 3-1. They get the number 3 seed heading into the Big 9 tournament, and will host most likely Davis on next Wednesday here at home. We'll take a break and come back with the postgame show on the way on the NCW Life Channel.
The Eastmont Wildcats had their hands full with the Eisenhower Cadets tonight, but they send the fans home happy with a 3-1 win over the Eisenhower Cadets, and they wrap up the number 3 seed heading into the Big 9 tournament, and we'll have that home play-in game here at Eastmont High School. Eastmont looked like they were going to walk all over the Cadets tonight as they won the opener 25-12, but Eisenhower countered back as they took the second set 25-19. Midway through the third, it looked like the Cadets were going to go up 2-1, but the Eastmont Wildcats answered behind a great play from Shane Stanaway as well as Alondra Mendez and they were not going to have it on senior night tonight. The two seniors helped the rest of the seniors in the club come back and win the third 25-18 and take the fourth 25-7 to get that number 3 seed. Again, for Michael Price, I'm Eric Grandstrom. Thanks for joining us here for volleyball tonight on the NCW Life Channel as Eastmont downs Eisenhower 3-1. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching Eastmont Wildcat Volleyball on the NCW Life Channel. Today's broadcast has been presented by Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge, Town Nissan, Collins Fashions, and the Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Bringing local sports to you, we are the NCW Life Channel. Thanks for watching.